Coming up, it's crunch time as we name and shame Britain's worst driver.
Signal right. Signal right.
Do you want me to face?
We started with 8 doleful drivers. We dutifully coached them in the skills they lack and then put them through a series of challenges to see if they'd learnt anything at all. We made them parallel park in the rain. Tried to teach them how to handle a skid. Got them to practice an emergency stop. And on our night navigation challenge, we taught them why they shouldn't bicker.
Oh, you prat!
So far, we've careered through 10 toe curling challenges, and we've given the most improved driver after every show a free car. All that's left is 3 motoring Muppets, 2 challenges, and the awful reality that one of our trio will soon become Britain's worst driver.
And handing out the humiliation is our panel of experts who, as always, will be shooting straight from the lip.
You have not taken any responsibility for longer than about 30 seconds.
One driver, 2 can't drive, and the driver's got the worst attitude I've seen.
Think carpet slippers and put a safety catch on that fuse.
Heightened confidence and lack of skill is an even more dangerous combination.
From our test centre, the judges will be watching, slack-jawed in disbelief. Now, this challenge is known as the Auto Assault Course, and broadly it should be a combination of all the skills our protagonists have learnt so far. We've laid out a course, and as you can see, we put a few surprises in it, like that man stepping out in front of them. We've got a tank of water on the roof. Dyed red, the water is a handy visual guide to handling. The more our drivers spill, the worse their car control. And then there's our old friend, the road rager, drafted in to wind up our drivers' stress levels. I've got a width restriction up here, very, very tight. Set of traffic lights, which are on for an interminably long time. There we go. Round the roundabout. And then we just go off-road here between these cones. And what we've got to do is get into this parking space, go very wide, and then reverse back for the rest of the duration of the course, which consists of a 3-point reverse slalom through to the finish line. First up is Tamworth Craig. From the very beginning, Craig behaved like he was driving in a demolition derby.
How many accidents have you had?
About 30-ish.
30 accidents.
His automotive aggression continued challenge after challenge. But even worse, we discovered Craig has an alarming tendency to lose his rag, and that's when he becomes a real danger.
What is that?
Is it, man? Whatever the minging name is.
Straight out of the gate, Craig comfortably avoids hitting our pedestrian.
Where's my water gone?
Matter, you saved the pedestrian.
Our insurance expert, Neil Utley, is in the car as an observer. Perhaps that's why Craig's uncharacteristically calm.
One of my mirrors gone. Is this a psychological test? Well, there's nothing coming.
Yes, Craig, it was a test, and you failed it because you went through a red light. An otherwise respectable performance ruined by yet another dollop of dim driving.
Been over-eager now. Quinton keeps saying he reckons I could be a good driver if I just calmed down a little bit and thought about what I was doing, which I suppose I did a little bit there on that course.
Next up is Becky, our Bristol beautician. Her basic car control is nothing short of appalling. A problem made worse by her reliance on her mum, Kim, to get her out of every sticky situation. On the last show, we took her mum away and teamed her up with Craig in a transit van to see if she'd finally start making decisions for herself.
Oh dear. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Sadly, she just let Craig take control instead, not really what we had in mind.
Keep going. Just keep going, go!
So, will Becky finally show some initiative? Our pedestrian escapes with just damp feet. She crawls around the rest of the course in 9 uneventful minutes. And yes, Mum's still doing the driving.
What way do you want me to face?
I want you to go left.
And then there's Kay from Cardiff. Dear, dear Kay. No one has tried harder to improve their driving. Such a shame then that her efforts have largely been pointless. She's congenitally incapable of reversing, and she's not much better at going forwards either. We've tried to build her confidence, but she seems to think that a confident driver has to be an aggressive one.
Off! Off! You're smaller than me, you off!
And I gotta obey the rules, innit?
Well, it would be nice, Kay.
Oh, that's bad.
That's very bad. Well, actually, it looked as if she didn't even brake.
That could have been my own mother. Well, I doubt it because she's passed away. But, it could basically been anybody. Could have been a child.
Not content to merely hit the pedestrian, she proceeds to grind him into the ground.
I know, you're frightened, Chaz, now.
Slow down, you gotta go round these.
And so, travelling at warp factor K, it's into the final reversing section, and it's not going to be pretty.
When I gotta try moving
Get
it.
up the clutch, Kate.
I'm off it, Chaz.
You weren't.
What you can't see but Neil can is that Charles puts the handbrake on, and Kay doesn't notice.
Go up there, straight and go the other way.
Oh, la 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 la.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
How did she manage to take the bumper?
You're using the clutch too
I'm off
much.
the clutch, Chaz.
What's the smell for? Look at all the smoke, Kate. Kate, look at all the smoke.
I can't help that.
It's because the handbrake's on.
No, the handbrake's down. It was. You pulled the handbrake up
I
on
never
it.
did.
Yes, it's hard to believe what you're seeing, but Kay really has managed to get the back bumper wrapped round the underside of the car. Even with the handbrake off, things don't get any better.
You need to go forward to that area. Whoa, whoa.
I'm really disappointed to see that.
Slow down to go through here.
She's meant to be going through this last section backwards, but by now we're simply relieved she's finishing it all.
I think she needs to consider being a pedestrian.
Okay, so why did it all go horribly wrong, Kate?
Panicked.
Panicked. And why do you feel you have to grab at this handbrake, Charles?
Perhaps you don't trust my driving.
I have to be frank with you. I'm not really surprised, Kay. Sometimes, because that you were supposed to have sort of learnt everything and put it to practice, but that
I
wasn't
agree
very
with
good.
you. I did it.
Now remember, our 3 all have full UK driving licences. All right, it took Becky 13 attempts, but somebody passed her. But what would happen if they had to resit their test today? There's only one way to find out.
Hello Becky, I'm Brian Lunn, Chief Examiner for the Institute of Advanced Motorists, and today I'm going to give you a driving test. Whoops. Still wandering over to that line, aren't you?
So am I going all that red or doing it
You're
now?
going to park in there.
Now.
Now.
Right, I just need to think about this. I need to start again, I think.
Hello Craig.
Oh, yeah.
What was the last warning sign we passed? Do you think you're close enough? Or do we want to get in the boot with him? It's a roundabout, you meant to go round there. Okay, where we go?
Back.
And we're going to go up there. 10. No, the other one I meant actually, but carry on. What's the speed limit here?
30.
30. We're doing 40.
We'll reveal the results of our driving tests in part 2.
After the break, our terrible trio hit one of London's busiest roads, and our judges decide who gets the lowliest honour of all, Britain's worst driver.
Here we go. Who's going to be Britain's worst driver? Will it be Becky, Kay, or Craig? We've brought our final 3 to the heart of London to circumnavigate 2 of the country's busiest roundabouts. And remember, all 3 of them have full UK driving licences. Each driver will start from the middle of Park Lane and drive round the 6-lane Marble Arch roundabout, back down Park Lane, around the infamous Hyde Park corner, and then back to the start point. All they have to do is drive this route 3 times. I'm up here on the Wellington Arch on Hyde Park Corner roundabout, and this is the first time our remaining contestants have actually had to battle with serious traffic, and this is central London and it's very, very busy. But interestingly enough, I am very stressed about this, particularly Kay, and my stomach is just doing somersaults. I just hope she's going to be all right. To forewarn London's drivers, we've plastered the challenge car with our special livery.
Oh my God, that's terrible driving around with that.
But it's still got a question mark on it, Becky, come on.
So I'm just going forward, am I?
Yes, Bex, that's the general idea.
You said make a loop, so surely I've got to get over, haven't I? No. And I've got to get over.
Oh, think, Becky, think for yourself. Come on.
Around about to here. So I can't, what lane have I got to be in now?
A few minutes in and already she's lost.
What, now go over? Round, yeah. So I wouldn't care if I knew where I was going, but I don't get the directions.
Becky turns off before Hyde Park Corner, cutting the course.
I haven't got a clue where I'm going. Just go right
On her second lap, Becky peels off and heads towards Knightsbridge.
Okay, you have gone the wrong way, so you need to turn around at the first available opportunity and come back to Hyde Park Corner.
After one shortcut and a detour, Becky makes the finish line. You've got some navigational issues, both you and your mum. You just went off in all directions, and I know it was towards the quality shops, but, you know, we wanted you to come back. You took a driving test, Becky, didn't you, for us? How do you think you got on?
I don't know, I hated it.
You're still wandering over to that line, aren't you?
How many driving tests have you taken?
13.
Let's make it 14, because you failed that one too. I spoke to the examiner, and he said the basic problem is your attitude. You just seem to be indifferent to hazards, even down to road signs. Craig seems more concerned about the car than the route.
Have I got to stop and ask people, is this part of the task? I say, oh mate, can you read the sign? Is that part of the task?
Craig's girlfriend Anne is unwell, so he's flying solo.
Red lights means stop.
Good.
Well done.
He's enjoying talking to himself.
I'm calm, I'm alright at the minute. Yeah mate, come on, cheers chap, thank you. Come on, Pratt, let you go. Put your foot down, mate. Swearing.
Standing already, he's rounding himself up.
Got a clue where you going, mate? Get over here.
He's agitated, he's looking for a fight.
Looking in the mirror all the time to see if the guy's racing from behind.
Getting a little bit royal, but I'm alright. Yeah, you got this car? Got the car? Have the car.
The guy's a lethal accident waiting to happen.
Disappointed.
He's a target, she's a target, get out of my way, what are you doing? It just came out and nobody was in the car, you know?
Anything. Buses, taxis, pedestrians, motorcyclists. Where's my fight? Where's my accident?
But the problem is we've told Craig this many, many times through every single challenge. And we see a few examples where Craig manages and controls it, but then he goes back.
How do you think you got on with your driving test?
I thought it was okay, yeah.
Okay, so you thought you passed? Okay. Well, I have to break it to you that you didn't. The examiner came up with this salutary phrase, which is, you think you're immortal when you drive. You underestimate hazards, and you also overestimate your capabilities as a driver. And so to Kay, who's never driven outside Cardiff.
I'll be quite honest, I'm shaking like a leaf.
So am I, Kay. So am
But
I.
I am full of fear, I'll be quite honest.
So am I.
I was terrified. More than terrified, actually. I've never been so afraid in all my life.
Kay is just coming down in the minibus, and I've agonised over all this, and I am going to go out with her. I just think it would be an act of complete irresponsibility not to. Car's got dual controls. I'm not going to help her, but I just have to be there. Mirrors, signals, manoeuvre. How can this person hurt me? Come on. I'm here, all right?
I got to do it for myself, not for anybody else. I've got to do it for myself.
Good.
Okay. Mirrors.
Watch the mirror. Stop the car. Okay. Signal right. Signal right.
It's funny that everyone makes the assumption that they can drive. Is that a skill that we're all supposed to have? It's not like inborn like walking, is it? It's kind of perhaps something that some people just can't do.
I'm watching all the lights and everything, I am.
Focus on what you're doing. Watch this people carrier.
Yeah.
No, that way, Kate, that way. Where are you going?
To the left.
No, to the right.
Sorry. I better go, you bloody nervous, Quentin.
We're all nervous, Kate.
Oh, yeah.
On her third lap, Kay does a Becky and disappears towards Knightsbridge. And remember, she's done this route several times already. We're going the wrong way now.
Oops. That's right, I should have gone that way.
Back on course, Kay's still intimidated by the London traffic.
And there's so many motorbikes coming up on your sides, you've got to raise up your ass.
She may have noticed the bikes, but doesn't see our rather prominent checkered flag.
In there.
Oh.
Kay,
I thought it was down by there.
come on, let's go around. After Kay's unnecessary lap of honour, she's furious with Charles.
I could kick somebody right up their ass.
You went past it, you were blind as a bat.
Yeah, but you're there, Charles. You're supposed to say to me and give me encouragement. Well, okay, Kay, you've missed the turn. Yeah, I had to go. Admittedly, I lost my directions at one point.
But it's how well you did it, which is the critical issue, Kay, isn't it? Not about effort, which we can't fault you on. It's how well you're coping with these situations. And I have to say, you did get me very stressful and a little bit nervous.
What has improved, which is positive, is your confidence. But heightened confidence and lack of skill is an even more dangerous combination.
Yeah.
Driving test. Did you pass?
No, I don't think I did, actually.
You're right in the sense that you did fail. But more seriously, the driving examiner was visibly shaken.
Going back.
And he just does not think you are in control of the car. So, one of these is Britain's worst driver. Time for our panel to cast their votes. So what do we think when Kay mowed down that pedestrian?
Frightening.
Horrific.
What do we think of Craig on that?
He has car control but no self-control, and that is his big problem still.
What about Becky?
Yeah, some things starting to get hard. Mammy.
But in terms of capabilities, improvement, it's going to be a hard one, isn't it? We started with 8. We gave them every opportunity to improve, and we are left with our 3 biggest sinners. Who is Britain's worst driver? Let me introduce you to the very patient patron saint of lost causes, St. Jude. And I'm going to give it to Kay.
Thank you very much.
I know it's not the trophy you want. I
am going to become a better
I
one.
know, and I'm going to die in the attempt, because we ain't finished here. And here's why she truly is Britain's worst driver.
The bloody car's on fire! I can drive straight, I just can't reverse. When Charles is in the car with me, he will become very argumentative.
There's a big white gap this side, tick foot.
Chair!
Gently above the clutch.
I'm not going to give up anyway. I'm not going to give up. No, I'm not going to give up.
As for our runners-up, Craig and Becky managed to escape national humiliation by a whisker.
Bad really, isn't it? I don't know which is worse, calling runner-up or actually being Britain's worst driver.
I'm not Britain's worst driver.
Kay and Chaz will be chauffeured back to Cardiff in a Rolls-Royce, but we've one last surprise up our sleeve.
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it?
It's lovely. I'd love to give you this car, but I can't.
Oh, no, I know
What
that.
I will give you is this car. It doesn't have a normal engine, it's electric, it's battery powered, it only does 25 miles an hour.
It's lovely, I think it's gorgeous.
If you are in Cardiff and you see this car coming, you know there's one thing to do, and that's run away. We've also given Kay a course of special refresher lessons with the British School of Motoring. We wish them luck.
Now we've come to the end of a long, winding and sometimes hair-raising road, I think it's only fair to give the last word to our official Queen of Calamity, dear, determined Kay.
I know that this time next year I will be able to say to them, look, I'm Britain's improved driver. Hopefully.